Hello and welcome to this little video on patterns. And patterns, what are patterns? Patterns are things that repeat themselves. They could be numbers or object shapes. Now in this video we're going to take a look at patterns of shapes or maybe colors that repeat themselves. And in a different video we'll look at number patterns. So let's take a look at this first little pattern that we see here. It's got some different shapes in there. It's got boxes, triangles and circles. And of course it's purple boxes. You see 3 of them. It's a green triangles and it's yellow circles. Now can you see a pattern there that repeats itself? Let's look carefully at it. How often does it repeat itself? Well, if you look carefully, you see that every 3 boxes, that pattern is repeating itself. So it starts off with a box, then a triangle, then a circle, and then it goes back and repeats that. Box, triangle, circle. Box, triangle, circle. So knowing that, I could actually predict the next few shapes, couldn't I? Just by looking at that. What's the next one going to be? Yeah, it's going to be a purple box. Now, I could draw a table to show this pattern either. So I know the first few shapes. The first shape is a box. The second shape is a triangle. The third shape is a circle. The fourth shape is a box. The fifth shape is a triangle. The sixth shape is a circle. The seventh shape is a box. The 8th shape is a triangle. The 9th shape is a circle. So you see, and I'll just get a nice little highlighter now for this. You see my purple boxes along here. And I might as well extend that. You see my green triangles along here. And you see my yellow circles along here, the 3rd shape, the 6th shape, the 9th shape, and we can draw a table to predict what the 10th shape is going to be. It's going to be a purple square, the 11th shape is going to be a green triangle, and the 12th shape is going to be a yellow circle. So a little table can help predict what's coming up, because you can see the pattern. You can see it repeating itself when you draw the table. So it's handy to help you. Now the problem will arise if I asked you for the... let's see. Let's keep going. If I asked you for the 38th shape, let's say. The 38th shape. Now you can kind of guess that using a table like we were doing, well, it's going to take a lot of table, a lot of drawing. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of work. So we need to consider, is there going to be a quicker way of doing this? Because that table, no way. I'm getting rid of that. That's gone. I need to look at this and think, is there a quicker way of helping me to figure out what the 38th shape will be? And this is where we have to use our brains. Okay? Let's zoom in on the question I'm asking you. How do I figure out which shape it will be if a table would take too long? For example, what will the 38th shape be? Okay. Let's try and figure this out. Get rid of that. Let's see if there's some steps. What we've got to do is we've got to work out the closest number the block of patterns will evenly go into. Use a calculator to help. Now, why am I doing this? So let's just go back up to my pattern again. I've got block, triangle, circle, block, triangle, circle, block, triangle, circle. I can tell you now what the 12th shape is going to be. It's going to be a circle. Therefore, I can also tell you what the 15th, indeed the 18th, indeed the 21st, indeed the 24th. I know that they're all circles, yellow circles, because I know that the third shape, the last shape in my pattern, is a yellow circle. So it repeats itself, remember, every 3 shapes. So the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th, the 12th, the 15th, etc., etc. So if I can find the number closest to 38 that 3 will go into, then I'll be able to figure out what the 38th shape will be. So let's say I figure out that the yellow circle will end up here, or maybe not there, here. Well, then I can work out what the 38th shape will be. It will be 2 shapes after the yellow circle, which is a green triangle. Now, let's actually do the maths on this. Like I just said, I know what the 3rd shape will be. It's going to be the yellow circle. The 6th, the 9th, the 12th, the 15th, the 18th, the 21st. They're all going to be yellow circles. So if I can find where the yellow circle will be, that's closest to the 38th number. So what do? I try and get 38 first of all and divide that by 3. It goes in, what does it go in? It goes in 12 point da, 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 da. No. So now I try the number below 38. I try 37, divide by 3. What does that go in? It goes in 12.333. No good. So now I go down again. I always go down, work down. 36, divide by 3. And bingo, it goes in an even number, 12. And once I've found a number that it'll go in an even amount of times, now I know what the 36th shape will be. So go back up to my little drawing. I know what this 36th shape is going to be. It's going to be a yellow circle. So now I can figure out what the 38th is going to be. It's 2 after it. In other words, look at our steps. You find what's left over. Okay? So we know the 36th. The 36th shape is going to be a yellow circle. How do I know that? Because I divided by the amount of shapes in the pattern. There's 3 shapes in the pattern. And if you get an even number, that means you know that that's going to be the same as the last shape in the pattern. Where's the last shape? Here. So now I just need to figure out what's left over. Okay? So what's 38 minus 36? It's 2. So I'm looking for the second shape in my pattern. What was my pattern again? That repeated itself again and again and again. Here it is up here. There's my pattern. Now what's the second shape? Yeah, it's going to be the green triangle. There's my first shape. There's my second shape. So my answer is the green triangle. Okay? Now there's a lot of thinking going on there. It's hard. So we have to do another one. See if we can figure this out. Okay, so here's another one. Here's an example, a second example. Below is a pattern of blocks that repeats itself. So we've got a green square, purple square, blue square, brown square. Green, purple, blue, brown. Green, purple, blue, brown. What's the pattern that repeats itself? Well, can you see it before I draw it? Have a look. I can see that every 4 boxes, that pattern is repeating itself. Isn't it? We need to be able to see that now ourselves. It starts off with a green box, then it moves on to a purple box, then it goes on to a blue box. Let's get this right, blue, highlighter. And then it goes on to a brown box. Oh, brown. So there's the pattern that keeps repeating itself. Green, purple, blue, brown. Okay. Question 2. How many coloured boxes or blocks are in each pattern? Oh, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What colour would the 20th block be? Now, when it's a small number like that, I could probably just work it out by looking at it. Okay, I don't need to draw any table or to do any maths. The 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th is going to be a brown box. 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th is going to be a brown box. So it's going to be brown. Okay? Now, what colour would the 120th block be? Well, if I go and try and do this again, and all the way to 120, I'd have a sore wrist. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the steps that I just spoke about a moment ago. Okay, let's try and do that. Work out the closest number of blocks. Work out the closest number the block of patterns will evenly go into. Use a calculator to help. So start with 120, because that's what's in the question, and divide it by the number of blocks in each pattern. How many blocks are in each pattern? 4. So let's start with this. And, ooh, bingo! It goes in a nice whole number. So, if nothing is left over, if there's no decimals or fractions, then the answer is the last shape of the pattern. So I've already gotten the answer. It didn't come out as 30.1 or 32.4, because if it does, there's more work to do. No, it didn't. It came out as a nice whole number. So I've gotten my answer. It's the last number. It's the last colour in the shape, which is brown. Now, what colour would the 99th block be? So this is going to be different. This is a harder one. Okay? So I get my 99 and I divide by 4. What does it do? It goes in 80 is 24. It goes in 24.75. Not going to work. So now I try the next number below 99. I try 98. Divide by 4. And that goes in 24.5. That's no good. So now I try the next number below that, 97. Divide by 4. And that goes in 24.25. Still no good. Remember, I'm looking for a nice round answer, not decimals. So now I try 96. Divide by 4. And bingo, that goes in 24 times. So what that means is, I know what the 96th shape will be. It's going to be brown. But what I got to do now is, I find what's left over. So, I was asked for the 99th block. Take away those 96 blocks that we got here. We're left with 3. So my answer will be the 3rd block in the pattern. What's the 3rd block in the pattern? It's a blue block. Blue. That's my answer. Now that was quite hard, but I want you to try and do one. Okay? I'm gonna ask you now in a moment to pause the video right? Pause the video, take a look at those